Good morning, live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Newshour, India's voice to the world. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh, coming up in the next hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit Assam to inaugurate Northeast's first emergency landing facility. Developmental projects worth rupees 5,450 crore to be flagged off. Union Minister Piyush Goyal reiterates government's stand on safeguarding farmers' interests in India-US trade deal. Hits out at opposition for trying to scare farmers with their lies. Heads of 20 nations, delegations from 45 countries all set to attend India AI Impact Summit 2026. New Delhi to host the summit from February 16th to 20th. Tehran reiterates missile program remained a non-negotiable red line, even as the US orders second aircraft carrier to the Middle East amid stalled diplomatic efforts. European leaders call for a reset of ties with US. German Chancellor Merz hints at talks with French President Macron over nuclear deterrence. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit Assam today, aimed at accelerating connectivity, strengthening digital infrastructure, promoting higher education and enhancing public transport, thereby giving a boost to development in the northeastern region. More in this report.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting Assam on Saturday. This will be Prime Minister Narendra Modi's second visit in 2 months. From Guwahati, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be inaugurating and flagging off various projects. He will also inaugurate a bridge which will cut time between Guwahati and North Guwahati to 7 minutes. Overall, giving a boost to the development in the entire region.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Assam on the 14th of February. The Prime Minister will land at the Emergency Landing Facility ELF on Moran Bypass in Dibrugarh, where he will witness the aerial display of fighters, transports and helicopters. The first of its kind in northeast India, the Emergency Landing Facility has been specially designed and constructed to support landing and takeoff of military and civil aircraft during emergencies. Thereafter, Prime Minister will inaugurate Kumar Bhaskar Varma Setu, which is built at a cost of around 3,030 crore rupees. The 6-lane extra-dosed pre-stressed concrete bridge will cut travel time between Guwahati and North Guwahati to 7 minutes. Prime Minister Modi will also inaugurate the National Data Center for Northeastern Region in Amigao in Kamrup district of Assam, which will host mission-critical applications of various government departments and also function as a disaster recovery center for other national data centers. The Prime Minister will also inaugurate IIM Guwahati, which will give a boost to higher education and management education in the northeastern region.
This time, PM Modi sir has 39th visit, and every time when he came, and he not came to bare hand. Actually, he when he comes to in Assam, actually he gives us a lots of opportunity and brings hopes for Assam.
Under Modi's leadership, Assam has developed a lot with the help of our CM sir. So we are grateful. He's a great leader. We are proud. Every Indian is proud of him.
The Prime Minister will also flag off 100 electric buses under the PM E-Bus Seva scheme, ensuring smoother, cleaner and affordable travel for lakhs of commuters.
With booming infrastructure, enhanced connectivity and new opportunities in education, a new era of progress is unfolding in Assam. And it also shows the government's commitment to accelerating the pace of development in the Northeast region, which aligns with India's vision of Viksit Bharat or self-reliant India by 2047. With camera person Ashish Sharma, this is Siddharth Bharadwaj reporting for DD India in Guwahati, Assam.
Inauguration of the first ever emergency landing facility in the northeast on the Moran bypass in Dibrugarh district, seen as a major boost to national security, strategic readiness and disaster response capacity in the region. Here's more.
On 14th February 2026, the state of Assam will witness the inauguration of a landmark strategic asset, the Emergency Landing Facility or ELF on the Moran bypass in Dibrugarh. This is the first facility of its kind in the entire northeast region. The ELF converts an identified stretch of national highway into an alternative runway during contingencies capable of handling emergency landing and takeoff operations of fighter aircraft, heavy transport planes and helicopters. Developed in coordination with the Indian Air Force, the facility significantly enhances operational flexibility and rapid air mobility in a strategically sensitive region. During the inauguration, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will witness an aerial display featuring Rafale and Sukhoi 30 MKI fighter jets, C-130 Super Hercules transport aircraft, and advanced light helicopters, a live demonstration of India's air power and rapid deployment capability. Beyond defense preparedness, the ELF will play a crucial role in humanitarian assistance and disaster relief operations, enabling swift access to far-flung and flood-prone areas of the northeast. The occasion holds profound significance for national security and regional resilience. The inauguration will be witnessed not just by the Prime Minister, but also the Governor and Chief Minister of Assam, along with senior civil and military dignitaries, underlining the strategic importance of the project. Following the ELF event, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also inaugurate and flag off development projects worth over 5,450 crore rupees at Lachit Ghat in Guwahati, reinforcing the centre's focus on connectivity and growth in the region. From strategic air capability to rapid disaster response and large-scale development, Prime Minister's visit is set to deliver a powerful message of preparedness and progress from the Northeast. Akshay Dongre's report from Dibrugarh, DD India.
And now our correspondents are joining us from the ground. Akshay is joining us from Dibrugarh and Siddharth from Guwahati. Akshay, let's first talk about the emergency landing facility in Dibrugarh. What kind of strategic advantage does such an infrastructure provide, especially in the northeast? We know that similar operations have been done successfully in other parts of the country as well.
Well, absolutely, Shubhendu. And as we saw in our colleague Siddharth Bhardwaj report, the developmental projects that are going to be launched in Assam. However, no amount of development is good enough unless you have an apparatus, security apparatus there to secure it as well. And as far as the strategic importance of Northeast is concerned, you cannot have an area that is undefended in any in any situation of not only natural disasters but also any kind of war-like situations where or any kind of operational preparedness cannot be complete unless you have air superiority in that particular region. And as we have seen in the modern warfare, that the first areas that get targeted by any enemy, any adversary is the airport facilities. Those are facilities attacked to ensure that the air capability of any adversary is turned redundant, and that perhaps is the reason why increasingly India is not only seeing an increase in the number of airports, but also converting its highways to work as emergency landing facilities. And I would like to show you behind me this strip of land that you see in my background. This is a highway and this specific region is Moran bypass. And an unspecified part of this highway has been converted into an emergency landing facility. While it will work as a highway throughout the year, but in any kind of contingency, in any kind of emergency situation, it can be converted into a landing strip for the aircraft as well. Not only civil aircraft, but transport aircraft, helicopters, fighter jets. So a wide range of air operations can be operated from here in any kind of emergency situation as far as the northeast region of the country is concerned, to ensure that it's not only the airport that are capable of providing landing strips to the aircraft of Indian Air Force, of the Indian civil infrastructure, but these highways now will also operate as emergency landing facilities in case if they are required. The traffic can be stopped and the aircraft can land here. And as you have rightly mentioned, that this kind of sort of operations have been seen in other parts of the country as well. A few years back, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurated similar kind of emergency landing facility in Badmer in Rajasthan, that is the western border, and as far as the easternmost border is concerned, we have one here in Dibrugarh. That is the first of its kind in the northeast region. Back to you, Shubhendu.
Right. Siddharth, coming to you, Assam is seen as a gateway to the northeast. Can you give us a macro perspective of how infrastructure development has seen a positive transformation in the northeast region in the recent years?
Oh, definitely. First of all, a very good morning to you, Shubhendu. And you rightly said it. It's actually a gateway to the northeast, and the development which is taking place here is actually being hailed by the people. Let me tell you, in Guwahati, the environment, the mood is quite electric, and people are actually hailing the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. When we had a word with them just a while back and last evening as well, they were hailing Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, and they were saying that, the government focus, which is on Northeast, the government focus on Assam and the entire Northeast is something which is incredible. And in the past several years, they have seen incredible development here in the Northeast region and in Assam as well. I'm here at Lachit Ghat right now, Shubhendu, in Guwahati, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be coming in a short while from now, and people are already very, very excited. There are several development projects which Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be inaugurating and flagging off. Let me tell you, to begin with, behind me is the Kumar Bhaskar Verma Bridge, which Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be inaugurating. Now, I will request my camera person to actually show our viewers, a bit of this bridge, although the weather is little hazy, but then still. Shubhendu, this bridge that you are seeing in front of you is Northeast India's first extra-dosed bridge. Now, when I say it is extra-dosed, it is a cross between the girder-style bridge and the cable-style bridge. You can see this bridge will cut the travel time between Guwahati and North Guwahati to 7 minutes. Now, this bridge is built with the modern facilities, the modern technologies is incorporated while this bridge was made. Shubhendu, it also has a base isolation technology. This bridge also has a real-time monitoring system for early damage detection. So this means that it's fully secured. It will provide ease of travel to the commuters, and it is built at a cost of around 3,030 crore rupees. So you can see, the infrastructure boost which Northeast region, the state of Assam, Guwahati is getting here, and people are expressing their happiness over it. Further, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also be inaugurating the data center. Now, Shubhendu, data center can be taken as a brain, which stores files. So the data center will be helping in supporting the government applications and then also act as a backup when it comes to other data centers as well. It further strengthens the Digital India mission. It will also give a boost to the digital connectivity in the entire northeastern region, right, and further, like I was just mentioning, strengthen the Digital India mission. Prime Minister Narendra Modi further will be inaugurating the IIM Guwahati. Now, the focus you can see here in the northeastern region is also on education, which will give a fillip to the higher education and people who want to pursue higher education in the region. And about IIM, it's a reputed educational institution as well. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will further, will inaugurating will be dedicating 100 electric buses to the northeastern region, to Guwahati, under the PM E-Bus Seva scheme. So all in all, we can say, Shubhendu, the development which is happening in the northeastern region, people are very, very happy. And, they are saying that they have seen immense development in the past few, especially in the past 10, 11 years in the northeastern region, which further shows the government's commitment, Shubhendu, to accelerate the pace of development in the entire region, wherein we have seen several projects, several development projects also being launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is his second visit in 2 months, Shubhendu, and we have seen the kind of focus the government is having on the northeastern region is absolutely phenomenal, and people are really happy in the entire region. And with this bridge, it will provide ease of travel to the commuters as well, and with e-bus that are being inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi will further shows the government's commitment towards sustainability as well.
Siddharth, stay with us. Akshay, coming back to you. Besides the inauguration of the emergency landing facility in Dibrugarh, I understand that the showcasing of India's air power will also be on display. What can you tell us about it?
Well, there are going to be a significant number of aircraft that will not only participate in the landing, operation, but also sort of fly past as far as India's air dominance is concerned and air preparedness is concerned. So clearly, we are going to see a vast range of aircraft from the Indian airports in Red Sea, including Sukhoi 30 MKIs, the Rafale fighter jets, the Dornier aircraft that will be landing, C-130 Super Hercules, and advanced light helicopters as well. So it's also going to demonstrate the kind of capability that this emergency landing facility has as far as the sort of technology that has gone into developing this airstrip, and it is going to be a sort of major show of strength and capability demonstration as well as far as this technology that has gone into making this highway convert into an emergency landing strip. Back to you.
On that note, thank you, Akshay. Siddharth, for joining us from Assam with those updates. Still to come on DD India Newshour. Cuba shifts to electric vehicles amid tighter US oil curbs. Peru Congress to debate motion to remove President Sherry amid scandal.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Johar. It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout हो गया.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Newshour. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. On the sidelines of the Munich Security Conference, European leaders are pushing for a reset in transatlantic relations. Friedrich Merz, Chancellor of Germany, on Friday called for stronger and more united Europe to help rebuild its relationship with the United States. Merz urged Washington to repair and revive trust at a time when global stability is under strain, warning that traditional international order is weakening amid rising great power competition. Hinting at talks with French President Macron over nuclear deterrence. At the Munich Security Conference, Merz warned the US could not go it alone, but also said Europe must beef up its own defenses and mentioned confidential talks with France on nuclear deterrence. French President Macron met British Prime Minister Starmer on the sidelines of the Munich Security Conference in Germany. During their meeting, Macron praised the unique relationship between the UK and France. He also highlighted the two countries' shared interest in economy, industry, migration and security. The Munich Security Conference will be held from February 13th to 15th. It comes amid strained ties between Europe and the United States. After talks at the Munich Security Conference, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky leaders made significant progress on plans to increase pressure on Russia and boost international coordination to help end the Ukraine conflict. Zelensky is expected to meet US Secretary of State Marco Rubio at the conference on Saturday. Earlier, Zelensky called for increased military aid packages as he attended the bilateral talks with various leaders during the Munich Security Conference. During talks with Norway Prime Minister, he said the two sides would cooperate on air defense missiles and other military aid packages to strengthen Ukraine's armed forces. Zelensky also held talks with Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen and Finnish President Alexander Stubb, focusing on bolstering Ukraine's defense. capabilities. During a meeting with Secretary of State Marco Rubio on the sidelines of the Munich Security Conference, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz to discuss Ukraine in Munich, calling it their most critical challenge. As Ukraine readies new peace talks as early as next week, the Trump administration is ramping up pressure on Russia in hopes of ending the conflict by early summer. Two sets of diplomatic negotiations on Ukraine and Iran are set to take place in Geneva on Tuesday. A source briefed on the matter told news agency Reuters on Friday. A U.S. delegation, including envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, will meet with Iranians on Tuesday morning and will then participate in trilateral talks with representatives from Russia and Ukraine in the afternoon. Meanwhile, the U.S. military is preparing for the possibility of sustained weeks-long operation against Iran. U.S. President Donald Trump on Friday embraced potential regime change in Iran and declared that tremendous power will soon be in the Middle East as the Pentagon sent second aircraft carrier to the region. Trump's military moves and tough talk come even as Washington and Tehran seek to revive diplomacy over Tehran's long-running nuclear dispute with the West. Trump has threatened strikes on Iran if no agreement is reached, while Tehran has vowed to retaliate, stoking fears of a wider war as the U.S. amasses forces in the Middle East. The U.S. targeted Iran's nuclear facilities in strikes last year. A senior Iranian official reiterated that Tehran's missile program remained a non-negotiable red line as the United States ordered second aircraft carrier to the Middle East amid stalled diplomatic efforts. Iran's missile power is among its red lines and is not subject to negotiation, the official said, adding that the military remained on high alert and warning that the cost of any miscalculation by outside powers would be high. The two countries held indirect talks in Muscat, Oman on February 6th, but tensions have remained high amid U.S. military buildup near Iranian waters. Moving on, U.S. military on Friday carried out another deadly strike on a vessel accused of trafficking drugs in the Caribbean Sea. In a social media post, the U.S. military said it had struck a vessel in the Caribbean, killing 3 people, the latest such incident in recent months. President Trump's administration has touted its success at taking out suspected drug trafficking vessels in the area. The military said in a post on X the vessel was engaged in narco trafficking operations. U.S. President Donald Trump stated that he planned to visit Venezuela and reiterated satisfaction with its interim leader as his administration authorized 5 major oil companies to operate in the country. The U.S. Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control issued general license letting major oil companies operate in Venezuela's oil and gas sector, with royalties required to go into Treasury-designed accounts. This aligns with the Trump administration's stance that Washington will hold and manage those funds in custody for Venezuela's benefit. A second license allows companies to negotiate potential investment contracts in Venezuela's oil and gas sector. The oil industry has expressed interest in Venezuela while cautioning that time frame for investment depended on having clear rules after expropriations by earlier governments. While Venezuela received more than 6 tons of medical supplies from the United States on Friday, an American shipment of medicines and medical supplies arrived at Simon Bolivar International Airport in Venezuela, where it was received by Venezuela's diplomat Felix Presencia and U.S. Charge d'Affaires Laura Dogu. Dogu said it was the first such delivery of medicines to reach the country, with more expected in the coming days. The shipment comes amid bilateral agreements and a relaxation of U.S. sanctions implemented by Washington. Facing one of the worst fuel shortages in recent years, Cubans are increasingly relying on electric vehicles and bicycles to meet their transportation needs as the island grapples with stringent economic challenges. Electric tricycles have become one of the most widely used means of transport on the streets of Havana for local authorities and to aid mobility in busy areas. Whether privately or state-run, with differences in costs depending on the case, tricycles transport passengers and light loads and more. The importation of motorcycles, tricycles, quadricycles and electric cars have increased significantly on the island in recent years, driven by fuel shortages. Cuba has state-owned companies that assemble these vehicles for private use or public services. The Trump administration labeled Cuba a security threat, halted Venezuelan oil and warned of tariffs on countries that supply fuel to the island. U.S. immigration authorities plan to increase the number of immigrants they can hold by the end of 2026, earmarking $38 billion for acquiring and renovating detention centers. Immigration and Customs Enforcement aims to increase bed capacity to over 92,000 to prepare for more arrest and enforcement operations. Under the plan, ICE will acquire or renovate 8 large detention centers and 16 smaller processing sites, as well as 10 existing facilities. ICE bed capacity has grown from about 40,000 when Trump took office amid reports of overcrowding and poor conditions. The new facilities are planned to be operational by November 30th. The announcement comes as Congress debates funding for ICE, which could lead to a partial government shutdown. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney paid tributes to the victims of one of Canada's deadliest mass shootings by laying flowers at a makeshift memorial in the remote town of Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia. The tragedy is among the worst in Canadian history. The deadliest mass shooting occurred in April of 2020 when a 51-year-old man killed 22 people in Nova Scotia before being shot dead by police. At a vigil in Tumbler Ridge, Prime Minister Carney comforted grieving families, telling them, "You're not alone."
And when we leave here tonight, and some of you go back to quiet houses, some of you go back to empty rooms, please know that you're not alone. Vous n'êtes pas seul. When you wake up tomorrow and the world feels impossible, know that millions of Canadians are with you.
Peru's Congress will debate a motion to impeach interim President José Gerri next Tuesday after the opposition garnered the 78 signatures it needed to launch the proceedings. Gerri has been in power since October, faces multiple censure motions for misconduct and lack of suitability. Investigations include a secret meeting with a Chinese businessman and alleged irregular hiring of 9 women in government posts. The presidency called the reports malicious and biased. Peru is experiencing prolonged political crisis, which had seen it burn through 7 presidents since 2016. The country will hold general elections in April, and Gerri is not running for the office. On to weather updates now. Water levels at major dam near Portuguese city of Coimbra were rising on Friday, prompting fears it could overflow. Officials warned that Aguera Dam on the Mondego River has slightly receded from near full capacity, but more rain could cause it to overflow and trigger serious downstream flooding. A powerful flow poured through its gates, sending spray high into the air as authorities performed a controlled discharge to ease the pressure. Portugal Civil Protection Emergency Services said there was no need for evacuation of Coimbra as rains were not as intense as earlier in the day. In Spain, heavy rains from winter of repeated storms forced the Los Calaveras Dam to release water for the first time in more than a century after its reservoir edged 100% capacity. Authorities evacuated around 220 residents from the nearby town of Benahua as a precaution. Mayor Guillermo Becerra said the situation is under control and the Guadiaro River remains within its banks. Spain and Portugal have faced 8 storms this year, causing heavy rains, snow, strong winds and damage to infrastructure and crops. Prime Minister Narendra Modi participated in ET Now Global Business Summit 2026 on Friday. Addressing the summit, Prime Minister said, amid numerous disruptions, this decade has been of unprecedented development for India, marked by strong delivery and efforts that have strengthened our democracy. PM stressed that India is poised to drive world's economic growth and emerge as a new engine of global progress.
जब पिछला दशक शुरू हुआ था तो भारत 11वें नंबर की अर्थव्यवस्था था। इतनी उथल-पुथल में पूरी आशंका थी कि भारत और नीचे चला जाएगा, लेकिन आज भारत बहुत तेजी के साथ दुनिया की तीसरी सबसे बड़ी इकोनॉमी बनने जा रहा है। और आप जिस सेंचुरी ऑफ चेंज की बात कर रहे हैं, उसका बहुत बड़ा आधार, और ये मैं बहुत जिम्मेवारी के साथ कह रहा हूं, इसका बहुत बड़ा आधार भारत ही होने जा रहा है। आज भारत दुनिया की ग्रोथ में 16% से ज्यादा योगदान दे रहा है, और मुझे विश्वास है इस सेंचुरी के हर आने वाले साल में हमारा योगदान और भी बढ़ता रहेगा, निरंतर बढ़ता रहेगा।
Prime Minister stressed that during the pre-2014 period, reforms in India were driven by sheer compulsion rather than proactive planning. However, today, in this decade of 21st century, India is riding on the reform express with major reforms already in place.
आज 21वीं सदी के इस दशक में भारत रिफॉर्म एक्सप्रेस पर सवार है, और इस रिफॉर्म एक्सप्रेस की सबसे बड़ी खासियत यह है कि हम इसे कंपल्सन में नहीं, बल्कि कन्विक्शन के साथ, रिफॉर्म के कमिटमेंट के साथ गति दे रहे हैं।
On agreements with several nations across the world, Prime Minister said India is entering into those trade deals because today India is confident and ready to compete globally.
साथियों, आजकल आप लोग भारत के FTAs यानी फ्री ट्रेड डील्स पर काफी चर्चा कर रहे हैं। क्या आपने कभी सोचा है कि आज इतने सारे विकसित देशों के साथ फ्री ट्रेड डील्स हो रहे हैं, क्या यही काम 2014 से पहले क्यों नहीं हो पाए? देश वही, युवा शक्ति वही, सरकारी सिस्टम वही, तो बदला क्या? बदलाव सरकार के विजन में आया।
Prime Minister Modi also stressed on disruptions related to AI. He added that in a few days, India will be hosting AI Impact Summit, in which many nations will be participating.
दुनिया को अब डिसरप्शन के साथ जीने के लिए तैयार रहना होगा। समय के साथ इनके नेचर में बदलाव आएगा, लेकिन ये तय है कि अब व्यवस्थाएं बहुत तेजी से बदलेगी। एआई से जो डिसरप्शन हो रहे हैं, वो तो आप देख ही रहे हैं। आने वाले समय में एआई और भी क्रांतिकारी बदलाव लेकर आने वाली है। भारत इसके लिए भी तैयार है। कुछ ही दिनों में भारत में ग्लोबल एआई इम्पैक्ट समिट होने जा रही है। दुनिया के अनेक देश, दुनिया भर के टेक लीडर्स इस समिट में हिस्सा लेने के लिए भारत आ रहे हैं। सभी के साथ मिलकर हम एक बेहतर विश्व बनाने के लिए निरंतर प्रयास करते रहेंगे।
India is hosting the India AI Impact Summit 2026 in New Delhi from 16 to 20th February. The summit is anchored in three aspects: people, planet, and progress, which define India's approach to the cooperation on AI. The summit will bring together global leaders, policymakers, innovators, and experts from across the world to deliberate on the way forward for AI. At the invitation of Prime Minister Modi, heads of 20 nations, ministerial delegations from over 45 countries would be participating in the summit. The UN Secretary General and senior officials from several international organizations will also join the deliberations. The summit, hosted at the invitation of Prime Minister Modi, is being positioned as the first major global AI gathering in the Global South. The summit comes at a time when global AI ecosystems are undergoing significant shifts. While large language models have shown rapid progress, policymakers and experts have increasingly highlighted the need for stronger data governance, diversified AI architectures, and sector-specific deployment. Artificial intelligence is no longer just a buzzword. It's becoming a backbone of India's economic transformation. It promises faster decisions, smarter systems, and new opportunities for millions of workers. The spotlight is firmly on how this technology can drive growth while ensuring sustainability and fairness. The next report explores how AI is powering India's economy and what it means for the future.
India is entering a new economic phase driven by artificial intelligence. AI is set to quietly revolutionize operations across industries such as factories, farms, hospitals, and banks. Machines are becoming more intelligent, decisions are improving, and productivity is expected to increase at an unprecedented rate.
AI will definitely.
We're now taking you live to Dibrugarh in Assam. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to participate in the emergency landing facility inauguration on Moran bypass in Dibrugarh. These visuals are now coming in from Dibrugarh, Assam. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on a visit to Assam. Prime Minister is to land at the emergency landing facility ELF on Moran bypass in Dibrugarh. Those visuals coming in from Dibrugarh, northeastern state of Assam. ELF, or Emergency Landing Facility, is the first of its kind in northeast India. It will serve as critical asset for strategic requirements and emergency response during natural disasters. Those visuals coming in from Dibrugarh. And the visuals, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has in fact arrived in Dibrugarh, just landed a short while ago. Prime Minister participating in the inauguration of emergency landing facility on Moran bypass, Dibrugarh. Prime Minister landed in a Lockheed Martin C-130J Super Hercules airlifter aircraft used in special operations for transporting troops to high altitude areas. Those visuals of the C-130J Super Hercules landing in Moran bypass in Dibrugarh. ELF, or Emergency Landing Facility, is first of its kind in northeast India. It is set to serve as a critical asset for strategic requirements and emergency response during natural disasters. In the visuals, you can see the C-130J Super Hercules. The aircraft, it's a tactical airlifter used for special operations and transporting troops to high altitude areas. The day will also witness a show of India's air power with a display of various aircraft, helicopters, and other assets. Those visuals coming in from Dibrugarh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates the emergency landing facility in Dibrugarh, Assam. Prime Minister is visiting Assam to launch a host of development projects. This is the first part of Prime Minister's visit. In those visuals that we are showing to you shows the inauguration of the emergency landing facility with the landing of C-130J Super Hercules, a tactical airlifter used in special operations for transporting troops to high altitude areas. It's a historic event. And DD India correspondent Akshay Dongre is joining us from the venue in Dibrugarh, where this inauguration ceremony is taking place. Akshay, just take us through the events that have taken place so far. We can see the visuals of the Super Hercules landing and Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the venue.
Well, Shubhendu, as far as the present activity here at the emergency landing facility is concerned, if you can see the live visual. Fighter jet also here, the C-130J Super Hercules aircraft that landed had Prime Minister in it, and now the Prime Minister has come on the stage as far as the inauguration of this facility is concerned. And in a short while from now, we will see the takeoff of the Sukhoi 30 MKI from this emergency landing facility to demonstrate how the facility is going to work in any kind of emergency scenario, emergency situation, be it a conflict or any kind of requirement that the Air Force requires this trip for. So as far as the events of the day are concerned, these Sukhoi 30 Rafales, Dorniers, C-130J and advanced light helicopters have already landed here at the emergency landing facility, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi also, along with the C-130J that landed on the emergency landing strip, himself demonstrated while directly inaugurating the landing facility by showcasing how he himself has confidence as far as the capability of this landing facility is concerned. So right now, what we can see is the Sukhoi 30 MKI getting ready for the takeoff. There is a large crowd of the people of Assam as well here, and in a short while from now, after achieving the required power, the Sukhoi 30 will take off from the landing facility. So, reminding our viewers why these kind of facilities are important. Because in any kind of situation where your airports are not functional, then you literally have no place to land these aircraft at. You cannot land them at any highway. You cannot land them at any, at any strip which is not specialized for these kind of not only fighter aircraft but also the transport aircraft that are heavier than the civil aircraft that have more complex requirements as far as the landing facilities are concerned. So in any kind of situation where these fighters may be required to land or take off, these facilities can come in handy. And because highways are in a way unlimited as far as...
Right, Akshay, we're looking at those visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. These visuals are now coming in live from Dibrugarh, Assam.
অসমৰ মুখ্যমন্ত্ৰী ডক্টৰ হিমন্ত বিশ্ব শৰ্মা মহোদয়ক মাননীয় প্ৰধানমন্ত্ৰী মহোদয়ক গামোচাৰে সম্বৰ্ধনা জনাবলৈ আমি অনুৰোধ জনাইছো। असम के संस्कृति के प्रतीक गामोछा से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का अभिनंदन किया जा रहा है। एया गामोछारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री महोदयक आमी सम्बर्धना जनाइছো। एबार অসমীয়া সংস্কৃতিৰ আন এক প্ৰতীক জাপিৰে আদৰণি प्रधानमंत्री महोदयक सम्बर्धना जनाब माननीय मुख्यमंत्री महोदये। असम के संस्कृति के प्रतीक है ये जापी जो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को वेद किया जा रहा है। चुटिया राज्यर अंतिम गराकी रानी सती साधनीर एखन प्रतिच्छवि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री महोदयक उपहार हिसापे आगबढ़ाबलै माननीय मुख्यमंत्री महोदयक आमी अनुरोध जनालो। मुगात सोन और प्राकृतिक भावे तैयारी रंगेरे निर्माण करा होइसे एई प्रतिच्छवि। वीर रानी सती साधनी का एक प्रतिच्छवि उपहार स्वरूप आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को भेंट किया जा रहा है। अब मैं चीफ ऑफ द एयर स्टाफ एयर चीफ मार्शल AP सिंह जी से हमारे परम आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को अभिनंदन करने के लिए अनुरोध करती हूँ। भारतीय वायुसेना का एक स्मृति चिन्ह माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को उपहार के तौर पे दिया जा रहा है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को आसन ग्रहण करने के लिए मैं अनुरोध करती हूँ। अब वो पल आ रहा है जहां नीले आसमान में भारतीय वायुसेना अपनी शक्ति प्रदर्शित करते हुए नजर आएगी। एटिया নীলাকাশত ভাৰতীয় বায়ুসেনাৰ শক্তি সামৰ্থ্য আহক আমি সকলোৱে প্ৰত্যক্ষ কৰো। সাক্ষী হৈ ৰওঁ অভূতপূৰ্ব এয়াৰ শোৰ।
Before we get on to the brass tacks, let's familiarize ourselves with the flow of today's events. The event will start with the takeoff of air superiority fighters of the Indian Air Force, the Su-30 MKI and Rafale lined up on the far right edge of the runway, followed by touch-and-go maneuvers by AN-32 aircraft. Thereafter, we will witness overshoot and landing operations by Su-30 MKI and Rafale fighter jets. At the end, special heliborne operations and humanitarian assistance and disaster relief will be demonstrated by our very own indigenous advanced light helicopter, ALH Mark III.
देवियों एवं सज्जनों, मुख्य कार्यक्रम शुरू करने से पहले आइए आज के कार्यक्रम की रूपरेखा से परिचित हो जाएं। सबसे पहले हम भारतीय वायुसेना के लड़ाकू विमान की गर्जनकर्ता फ्लाई पास्ट का साक्षी बनेंगे, जो इस ऐतिहासिक क्षण की शुरुआत का प्रतीक होगा। इसके बाद मोरान आपातकालीन लैंडिंग सुविधा पर AN-32 विमान, सुखोई 30 MKI और रफाल लड़ाकू विमानों द्वारा टच एंड गो अभ्यास और लैंडिंग का प्रदर्शन किया जाएगा। इसके पश्चात भारतीय वायुसेना द्वारा विशेष हेलीबॉर्न ऑपरेशन तथा उन्नत हेलीकॉप्टरों के माध्यम से मानवीय सहायता और आपदा राहत कार्यों का प्रदर्शन किया जाएगा। यह भारतीय वायुसेना के पायलटों की सटीकता और कौशलता को उजागर करता है। इसके बाद ये लड़ाकू विमान मुरान राजमार्ग से टेक ऑफ करेंगे, जो भविष्य में भारतीय वायुसेना के संचालन के लिए नई संभावनाओं का मार्ग प्रशस्त करेगा।
In a nation as vast and diverse as India, the ability to respond swiftly in the times of crisis is not merely a necessity, it's a solemn commitment. A commitment that Indian Air Force and leadership have consistently demonstrated, ensuring protection and preparedness of our borders, skies and citizens. With the vision of strengthening the Indian Air Force's operational reach, this project marks a new era in the national security and defense capabilities. The emergency landing facility is an innovation that will allow fighter aircraft, transport planes and helicopters to make critical landings even in the most remote and inaccessible regions of our country.
आज हम एक ऐसे महत्वपूर्ण अवसर पर इकट्ठे हुए हैं, जहां हम आपातकालीन लैंडिंग सुविधा के उपयोग को प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं, जो भारतीय वायुसेना के अदम्य साहस और अभिनव विचारों को दर्शाता है। वर्ष 2018 में भारतीय वायुसेना ने एक नया कदम उठाया था, एक ऐसी कल्पना को विकसित करते हुए जो भारत के राजमार्गों को सामरिक क्षमता के रूप में बदल दे। एक ऐसी दृष्टि जिसमें जो राजमार्ग पहले लोगों और सामान के यातायात के लिए थे, उन्हें भी आपातकाल के दौरान रनवे बनाया जा सकता है। ये एक प्रगतिशील और दूरदर्शिता से भरी सोच है, जो न सिर्फ अनजाने संकटों का सामना करने में मदद करेगी, बल्कि राष्ट्र को हर स्थिति का सामना करने की ताकत दे रही है।
And now we commence today's flying operations. To the far right of the runway, call sign Karn, piloted by Group Captain Saurabh Adhikari with Flight Lieutenant Mansi. The Su-30 MKI is now ready to take flight to the blue yonder. The aircraft delivers raw, unmistakable power. And look out for the air-to-air missiles at the wingtips, allowing the fighter to transform instantly from a highway visitor to an air dominance predator. Watch closely the thrust vectoring nozzles and how they assist in early liftoff despite the aircraft mass.
कॉल साइन कर्ण उड़ान भरने के लिए तैयार है। इस विमान की शक्ति अचूक और अद्वितीय है। यह लड़ाकू विमान तीव्र गति के साथ ऊपर जाएगा और देखते ही देखते हमारे आकाश का रक्षक बन जाएगा।
And notice the aircraft is now opening full power. And now the afterburners are engaged. And now call sign Eklavya, piloted by SCON leader Masand. The Rafale aircraft is now lined up for departure. You'll now witness the aircraft getting airborne in less than 500 meters and being combat ready within seconds of leaving the ground.
कॉल साइन एकलव्य रफाल विमान अब उड़ान भरने के लिए तैयार है। आक्रामक तरीके से ऊपर चढ़ते हुए यह विमान जमीन छोड़ने के कुछ ही क्षण में युद्ध के लिए तैयार हो जाता है।
And what you just heard was the sound of air dominance. And now from the horizon on your right emerges a bird of steel, a symbol of strength and reliability, Indian Air Force's stalwart, the AN-32 aircraft, call sign Balram, flown by Group Captain Dagar with Wing Commander Rakshit.
AN-32 विमान भारतीय वायुसेना का वर्क हॉर्स यानी सबसे भरोसेमंद विमान माना जाता है। उत्तर पूर्वी क्षेत्रों में तैनात सुरक्षा बलों को हवाई मदद देता है।
Look at the precision. The pilot is aligning a massive transport aircraft. The wheels touch down and roll down the highway, proving that no place is out of reach of Indian Air Force and Naya Bharat. The reinforcements and support can reach anywhere in the shortest possible time. And now turn your eyes to the skies as the fighters run in from your right. Coming in hot, approaching the Moran Emergency Landing Facility are the mighty Su-30 MKI. Flying in wick formation, this is the Arjun formation of number 102 Squadron, led by Group Captain APS Saini.
अब आप सभी अपना ध्यान आकाश की ओर करें। दाहिनी ओर से मोरान आपातकालीन लैंडिंग सुविधा की ओर बढ़ते हुए दिखाई दे रहे हैं भारतीय वायुसेना के शक्तिशाली सुखोई 30 लड़ाकू विमान।
In a short while, the wick formation will emerge tearing through the clouds. Ladies and gentlemen, be on the lookout for the mighty Su-30 MKI. The Sukhoi 30 is the mainstay of Indian Air Force. This air superiority multi-role fighter jet is capable of employing modern long-range precision weapons like BrahMos and Astra. It's one of the most agile platforms of the Indian Air Force. Its operations from this emergency landing facility, combined with lethal weapon systems, provide reach beyond borders in no time.
यह लड़ाकू विमान आधुनिक लंबी दूरी के सटीक हथियार जैसे ब्रह्मोस और अस्त्र मिसाइलों को संचालित करने में सक्षम है। यह भारतीय वायुसेना के सबसे फुर्तीले और सक्षम विमानों में से एक है। इस आपातकालीन लैंडिंग सुविधा से इन विमानों का संचालन अत्याधुनिक हथियार प्रणालियों के साथ मिलकर सीमाओं के पार भी त्वरित प्रतिक्रिया देने की क्षमता प्रदान करता है।
And now you'll witness the most demanding and rare demonstrations of the military aviation. Look to the right, call sign Arjun 3, piloted by Squadron Leader Bhadoria with Flight Lieutenant Benipal, is now coming in for an overshoot. Observe the massive lifting body and thrust vectoring authority.
कृपया अपनी दाहिनी ओर देखें। कॉल साइन अर्जुन 2, जिसका संचालन विंग कमांडर सौरभ जायसवाल और फ्लाइट लेफ्टिनेंट यश पुनिया कर रहे हैं, अब ओवरशूट के लिए स्वयं को संरेखित कर रहा है।
And now the most awaited moment, coming in from the far right, call sign Arjun 1, piloted by Group Captain APS Saini with Flight Lieutenant Jadhav, is now aligning for landing. Weighing over 38 tons, this twin-engine fighter demands nothing but absolute precision while landing on this highway. And touchdown. Shoots out, aircraft landed, mission accomplished. And now coming in from the right, in the wing formation, are the Rafales of number 101 Squadron. Call sign Abhimanyu. Leading this formation is Group Captain Arun Kumar. Emerging from the horizon, the Rafale, India's most advanced multi-role fighter, tip of the spear in Indian Air Force's arsenal.
तेजस्वी आभा के साथ दाहिने तरफ से आते हुए रफाल फाइटर जेट.
And now look out for the sharp peel-off as the aircraft will now take a circuit. And now look out for the sharp peel-off.
आजा जिंदे शामी आने के तले है, आजा जरी वाले नीले आसमाने के तले है.
Against the backdrop of Jai Ho, the fighters proudly roar over the skies of Assam and the mighty Brahmaputra Valley. Rafale is a 4.5 generation fighter jet spearheading the Indian Air Force's air operations. It's capable of carrying weapons like Scalp and Meteor missiles and is equipped with one of the most advanced avionics. The Rafale's operation from Moran demonstrate Indian Air Force's commitments towards securing national interest and staying true to be the sentinels of the eastern skies.
रफाल एक अत्याधुनिक लड़ाकू विमान है जो वायुसेना के हवाई अभियानों का नेतृत्व करता है. यह स्कैल्प और मेटेओर जैसे अत्याधुनिक शस्त्र ले जाने में सक्षम है.
And now Abhimanyu 2 and 3 will carry out a low overshoot over the ELF and number 1 will land. Coming in from the right, behind the controls, Flight Lieutenant Shoraveer.
कॉल साइन अभिमन्यु 2 जिसका संचालन स्क्वाड लीडर चांदगुड़े कर रहे हैं, ओवरशूट के लिए अग्रसर है. यह लड़ाकू विमान राष्ट्र की सुरक्षा का सशक्त प्रतीक बनकर हमारे साहस और आत्मनिर्भर भारत की ताकत को दर्शाता है.
And here comes call sign Abhimanyu 1, piloted by Group Captain Arun Kumar, aligning for landing. And touchdown. This is where Rafale excels. Short landing distance and high authority. Perfectly suited for dispersed operation from all types of landing strips. Having seen the fighter operations, the splendid and immaculate display from this emergency landing facility, next to come is the advanced light helicopter. This indigenously developed helicopter is not only a symbol of technological excellence, but a lifetime during times of crisis.
ALH हेलीकॉप्टर स्वदेश में विकसित केवल तकनीकी उत्कृष्टता का प्रतीक ही नहीं बल्कि प्राकृतिक आपदाओं के समय एक जीवन रेखा भी है। कल्पना कीजिए उस परिस्थिति की जब बाढ़ या भूकंप के कारण हमारे देश का कोई हिस्सा दुर्गम हो जाता है, जब आपदा में फंसे लोगों की उम्मीद टूटने लगती है, तब यह विमान सबसे पहले सहायता के लिए पहुंचता है। आज हम इसके दोनों स्वरूपों के साक्षी होंगे। शांति काल में यह जीवन रेखा है और युद्ध के समय एक सजग एवं सक्षम योद्धा है।
এতিয়া আমাৰ মাজলৈ আহি আছে ভাৰততে নিৰ্মিত শক্তিশালী হেলিকপ্টাৰ ALH। এই হেলিকপ্টাৰখন কেৱল এটা যন্ত্ৰই নহয়, এই বিপদৰ সময়ত আমাৰ বাবে এক আশাৰ ৰশ্মি।
And now, ladies and gentlemen, shift your gaze towards the far right. Coming in line astern formation are Nakul 1, flown by Wing Commander Amber and Flight Lieutenant Mayuk, and number 2, flown by Wing Commander Himanshu and Flight Lieutenant Janvi. They'll be making a swift landing at this ELF.
अब आपके सामने अदम्य साहसी गरुड़ कमांडोज के साथ तीव्र गति से अग्रसर होता हुआ नकुल फॉर्मेशन।
Watch closely, as you would not want to miss out that in no time at all, our elite special forces, the Garuds, will move on to the objective area. The precision, the speed and lethal accuracy, all in motion. Ladies and gentlemen, be on the lookout and see how swiftly the Garud commandos tread onto the objective area. Their planned and precise moves help them achieve tactical advantage, taking the enemy by surprise.
पायलटों की दक्षता को ध्यान से देखिए। अपने मिशन को सफल करने के पश्चात शत्रु क्षेत्र से सुरक्षित दूरी स्थापित कर चुके हैं और पीछे छोड़ जाते हैं एक ऐसी टुकड़ी जो पूर्णतः सजग और शत्रु की सीमा के भीतर कार्यवाही के लिए तैयार है।
In situations of natural calamities, the Indian Air Force has been at the forefront of nation's humanitarian assistance and disaster relief efforts. In such eventualities, citizens do need immediate medical attention irrespective of availability of the airfield. Look up once again. Here you see call sign Sehdev 1, piloted by Wing Commander Chandan and Squadron Leader Ashwant, and number 2, piloted by Squadron Leader Anil and Flight Lieutenant Shashank, coming in configured as casualty evacuation platform. Be on the lookout as Sehdev sweep in for humanitarian assistance to rescue the citizens, ensuring they receive immediate medical attention while being airlifted to safety. Be on the lookout. In a short moment, you will see how this cabin, designed for rapid reconfiguration, turns into an airborne ICU, providing immediate medical care. What you're experiencing is not just an air display, it is the aerial articulation of a rising India. This indigenous marvel stands as a testament to India's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And with this, we come to the end of today's flying display and operationalization of the first emergency landing facility of the Northeast India here at Moran. We now prepare to bid farewell to our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji. He is now departing from this venue, carrying with him pride and aspirations of the nation. His presence here today has further strengthened our resolve towards progress, security and self-reliance.
हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का कुशल नेतृत्व आज भारत को नई ऊर्जा, आत्मविश्वास और नई दिशा की तरफ ले जा रहा है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री एक दूरदर्शी मार्गदर्शक के रूप में राष्ट्र को नई सोच।
You're watching Prime Minister Narendra Modi's participation in a special air show taking place in Dibrugarh, Assam. The program was the inauguration of Emergency Landing Facility or ELF on Moran Bypass. It's a national highway in Dibrugarh, Assam. It's the first of its kind capability demonstration in the northeast for India. Prime Minister there himself came in an Indian Air Force aircraft and also witnessed the display of the potential and capability of various aircraft. Those were visuals that came in earlier today. Prime Minister came in C-130J Super Hercules, a tactical airlifter used for special operation. Prime Minister came in and landed on the airstrip. It's a national highway that is being used as an airstrip for emergency purposes. Prime Minister landed at the emergency landing facility on Moran Bypass in Dibrugarh. The CLF is first of its kind in the northeast, is set to serve as a critical asset for strategic requirements in emergency response during natural disasters. What we're showing you are the visuals of the events earlier today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi aboard this C-130J Super Hercules that you see on your screens landed at the Moran Bypass in Dibrugarh. Prime Minister landed and inaugurated this emergency landing facility ELF on the Moran Bypass in Dibrugarh, Assam. And Prime Minister is on a visit to Assam. He's also set to flag off a number of development projects later in the day. Moving on, India's Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has strongly rebutted allegations made by the Congress leader Rahul Gandhi regarding India-US trade deal, terming it stage-managed, artificial and fake narrative. In a video message, Minister Goyal dismissed the claims as completely baseless and accused the opposition of attempting to mislead the country's farmers. The minister asserted that interests of farmers have been fully safeguarded by the government and emphasized that the agreement is designed to benefit farmers, fishermen, youth, small businesses, startups, artisans and Vishwakarmas.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi has once again rolled out a stage-managed, most artificial and fake narrative. This time, he's shooting from the shoulders of a few Congress party activists who are pretending to be farmer leaders in a completely artificial and baseless conversation. Let me now do a reality check on Rahulji's fakery for misguiding our innocent, hardworking Annadatas whose interests have been fully protected by the Modi government in the India-US trade deal.
The navies of India, Japan and Indonesia conducted a trilateral maritime exercise in Andaman Sea on February 13th. The exercise focused on enhancing combined operational readiness, improving interoperability and reinforcing ongoing maritime cooperation efforts to ensure safe, secure and stable Indo-Pacific. The exercise highlights stronger strategic ties and shared commitment to regional maritime security. India and Kyrgyzstan have launched the 13th edition of their Joint Special Forces exercise Khanjar at Misamari, Assam, an initiative to strengthen defense cooperation, interoperability and tactical synergy between the elite forces of both nations. The exercise began on 4th February, will conclude on the 17th. Exercise Khanjar is an annual bilateral military engagement conducted alternately between India and Kyrgyzstan since its inception in the year 2011. It brings together specialized contingents from both countries to train collectively in counter-terror operations, special forces tactics under United Nations mandate framework. This edition of Khanjar underscores the shared commitment of India and Kyrgyzstan to tackle international terrorism, extremism, while strengthening mutual trust, defense ties and regional stability. The exercise also reinforces long-standing strategic partnership and defense collaboration between the two nations. Artificial intelligence is no longer just a buzzword. It's becoming the backbone of India's economic transformation, promises faster decisions, smarter systems and new opportunities for millions of workers. The spotlight is firmly on how this technology can drive growth while ensuring sustainability and fairness. The report explores how AI is powering India's economy and what it means for the future.
India is entering a new economic phase driven by artificial intelligence. AI is set to quietly revolutionize operations across industries such as factories, farms, hospitals and banks. Machines are becoming more intelligent, decisions are improving and productivity is expected to increase at an unprecedented rate.
AI will definitely augment the capabilities of professionals who are working in any domain to ensure that their productivity increases. That is definitely something that AI will.
However, AI's impact goes beyond just boosting efficiency. It is also changing the nature of jobs. While automation is taking over routine tasks, new career paths are emerging in fields like data science, machine learning and AI engineering. The government's India AI mission is equipping millions of young people with the skills needed to meet future challenges. On the global stage, India is gaining prominence. The India AI Impact Summit 2026, to be held in New Delhi, will gather.
We again take you to Assam, Dibrugarh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting the northeastern state. He visited a special Air Force exhibition in Dibrugarh while participating in the emergency landing facility inauguration. Those visuals coming in from Dibrugarh, Assam. Prime Minister Narendra Modi being briefed by the Air Chief on various capabilities and capacity of the Air Force. Prime Minister a short while ago participated at the emergency landing facility inauguration on Moran bypass in Dibrugarh. ELF, first of its kind in the northeast India, is going to serve as a critical asset for strategic requirements and emergency response during natural disasters. And these are visuals of a special exhibition that Prime Minister attended in Dibrugarh, Assam, accompanied by Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma and his colleagues from the government. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on a visit to the northeastern state of Assam. here being briefed by Air Chief on the capability and capacity of the Indian Air Force. The capacity of Indian Air Force presented a unique show today as various key fighter aircraft of the Indian Air Force were part of the air show that took place in Dibrugarh, Assam. From landing in a C-130J to the show of Rafale and Sukhoi 30. The fleet of Indian Air Force's aircraft was on display today. India's air power on display in Dibrugarh, Assam. The occasion was the inauguration of emergency landing facility on Moran bypass in Dibrugarh, Assam. ELF is the first of its kind in the Northeast, set to serve as a critical asset for strategic requirements in emergency response during natural disasters. Prime Minister also witnessed an aerial display of fighters, transport, helicopters. Later today, Prime Minister in Assam is going to be launching a number of development projects as well. But the first half of the day, Prime Minister's engagement with the Indian Air Force in a historic event, a 4.2-kilometer stretch of NH2 near Moran, Dibrugarh district, had become the first expressway in the Northeast to be part of emergency landing facility in the country. It also showcased operations with all types of fighter aircraft, transport, helicopters that were carried out. The event was aimed at assessing the highway's potential as an alternative runway during contingencies and emergencies. Those visuals coming in from Dibrugarh, Assam. And that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour. Coming up next is an exclusive conversation with CEO and MD of HCL Tech, C. Vijay Kumar, who said that this time the century $1 million opportunity for the AI industry. He added that Prime Minister Modi has already outlined the priorities for democratizing AI and that they are committed to achieve the goal.
Hello and welcome to our special segment on DD India. Well, India is all set to host the India AI Impact Summit, which will witness the participation of the biggest stakeholders from the industry, including national and international leaders. And ahead of the summit, we are joined with a very special guest. Joining us is Mr. C. Vijay Kumar, the Chief Executive Officer and the Managing Director of HCL. So thank you so much for joining us here. Now, as we gear up for the much-awaited India AI Impact Summit, tell us why and how AI is a billion-dollar opportunity.
Yeah, thank you for having this session with me. AI is in fact a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. It's truly a transformation technology, and it's really a once-in-a-century pivot like electricity or internet, for it can be transformative for people, for companies and countries. It can drive efficiency and innovation in businesses and government and for people productivity. And it has the potential to improve the quality of life by dramatically accelerating research and innovation and medical breakthroughs and many more interesting things. The entire AI ecosystem and adjacent technologies that enable this will be the drivers of growth of innovation and economic prosperity. India is very well positioned to benefit from AI, and our government has a clear vision to enable this transformation.
Also, tell us, why is it important to regulate AI or artificial intelligence?
Yes, it's a very powerful technology, and we need to use this technology in a safe manner. Just take a simple example. When cars were invented, we did create traffic rules, we created driving license, we created seat belts, all these rules helped us to use cars in a safe manner, and it built trust in the technology. Exactly same analogy. Any technology has has very powerful capabilities, so it needs to be used in a safe manner, in a manner in which people can trust. So that's really the fundamental reason. But coming to AI, while it has a lot of promise of efficiency and innovation, it can also be used for things like misinformation, deep fakes. It could also use the personal information to build some assumptions and outcomes. So I think security, privacy, all of this is what are some of the downsides. So it needs certain regulations and certain rules to really ensure that we all have great trust in the technology and we really leverage it for the positive aspects.
Also, when we talk about the economic aspect, how can AI help in eliminating economic challenges and also help in creating job opportunities for the country?
Yeah, I think the biggest driver for economic growth is a significant opportunity to improve our per capita productivity. I think AI as a technology can help us leapfrog the productivity metrics, and higher productivity will result in lower costs, more volume growth, and that will create business growth, and that will create more economic prosperity and newer type of jobs as well.
And moving on, also tell us about how can the India AI Impact Summit help in ensuring the ethical usage of AI, which is, I think, the need of the hour.
Absolutely. Ethical AI must be a top priority for every country and every business as we really embrace this disruptive technology. Our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has already outlined ethical AI as a priority ahead of the summit, and we as an industry are fully committed to this vision. We recently had a roundtable conversation with our Honorable Prime Minister where he reiterated the ethical and responsible use of AI and AI for all as the key message. And we're all rallying behind this objective to make this a very successful summit and really bring the global focus on what India can do.
Definitely. So in that case, would it be right to say that initiatives like the India AI Impact Summit are putting India in the spotlight when it comes to democratizing the usage of technology and especially globally?
Absolutely. India has always long established itself as a trusted engine for the global technology ecosystem. I'm sure India will be an early adopter of AI given its digital native population, as well as an enabler of AI across the world through its solutions and the vast IT industry that we have. Many future AI use cases for the world are likely to come out of India thanks to our world-class IT industry and startup ecosystem, as well as our GCC play. Our Honorable Prime Minister, as well as Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, have outlined an excellent forward-looking policy framework that should keep the country in good stead for the time to come. At HCL Tech, we are optimistic about the potential of AI for the nation, as well as for our business and for our people.
And as we move towards the end of the segment, any message that you would like to give to the young entrepreneurs?
This is an opportunity of the century. So we should really wear the thinking hat. There is tremendous innovation potential this technology offers. So I think it's a great opportunity for every entrepreneur to think out of the box and come up with solutions that will make the world a better place.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here on this special segment and taking us through the important aspects on AI and what is the need of the hour when we talk from the global point of view. We are really looking forward to your participation at the upcoming AI Impact Summit here in India. Thank you so much for joining us once again. And with this, it's a wrap here on this very special segment ahead of the upcoming India AI Impact Summit here on DD India. We'll keep bringing you more and exclusive interactions on AI, artificial intelligence. Thank you so much for joining us right now.